Hey, welcome back, guys. This is a part two of a two-part series. So we talked about in part one how we were able to recover half of the funds in this case. There was a total of over $120,000 in surplus funds. We were able to recover half for the husband because what had happened is the wife had a bankruptcy case that had been closed, but the trustee of the case wanted to reopen the bankruptcy and get his hands on her half of the funds and disperse them to the creditors in that bankruptcy case. So what ended up happening? Let's talk about that. So the trustee filed his claim, and then we had to wait. We had to wait until he went back to the bankruptcy court to figure out what was going to happen. So the trustee went to the bankruptcy court and he filed a motion to reopen the bankruptcy case because the bankruptcy had been closed for some time. And his reasons were so that he could get these funds and disperse them to any outstanding creditors. And so it was looking like that, we may have only been able to recover half, which is still not bad, right? 60,000, still not bad at all. And what ended up happening is the judge in the bankruptcy case, he denied the motion to reopen the bankruptcy. He denied it. He denied the claim basically for the trustee. And he stated some specific laws, and this is interesting because, again, surplus funds and bankruptcy, you may run into this for sure in this business. But usually surplus funds fall under state law, usually. Bankruptcy is federal law, a whole nother system. And so the judge, long story short, the judge cited some federal law saying that it would not be advantageous to open up the bankruptcy case, and that if the creditors didn't come forward and submit their own claim on the funds, then that was on them. And that he felt it was not necessary to open up the bankruptcy, and so he denied the motion. And so what ended up happening is as soon as we saw that the judge was not going to open back up the bankruptcy case, we immediately filed another claim for the wife's share. And we were fortunate that basically what ended up happening is, if you notice here, this was a check in May of 2020. Here's a separate check in June of 2020 for a little more than the last amount. The first one was 6819. This one was 6840. And there was another lien holder that had filed for some of the funds, but it was a small amount. And so, long story short, we were able to recover a large majority of these funds for these homeowners, despite the bankruptcy trustee trying to open up the bankruptcy case. Now, had this happened and the bankruptcy was still open, I think things would have gone differently. I think we may have only been able to get this first check and not the second. I don't know for sure, but that's what I think would have happened. And so you never know what's going to happen for sure. You are kind of at the mercy of the court or the county, whoever's holding the funds. In this instance, we were kind of waiting on what the bankruptcy judge was going to do. And it could have gone the complete other way, right? The bankruptcy judge could have ordered the bankruptcy open to reopen it, and maybe we wouldn't have recovered this second check. That could have happened, but it didn't. And so this is the takeaway, I guess, is you never really know what's going to happen. And so you just need to move forward with the case and learn what you can from each case. There are no guarantees in this business. You may think you have a slam dunk case, and then the next thing you know, something pops up. You learn that the homeowner transferred their interest in the home before a foreclosure or a tax sale, and they're not even entitled to the funds. Or maybe you think you have some heirs that you're working with, and then you find out that they're actually not entitled to the funds. There's a lot of moving parts, and each case is different in this business. And so the point is, you learn the most in doing. And there are many great courses out there on this business on how to do it. And they're all good, and they all have their pros and cons, including mine. But the real learning comes in doing. And you just have to be okay with getting your hands dirty, getting in the trenches, and being okay with not knowing everything, and being okay with not having guarantees. Because there are no guarantees in this business. What you think might happen may not happen. Or you may get pleasantly surprised. That happens also as well. But, at the end of the day, there's no guarantees in life either. So you might as well do the work, take those risks. And if you're only paying a few $100 for an attorney, small price to pay. For a potential good payday. So I hope that that's helpful for you guys. You can do cases if there's bankruptcy involved. Again, I think it would have gone differently had the bankruptcy been open, or had the judge decide to open it, but he didn't. And so it worked out in our favor. Could have gone either way. Bottom line is, you don't know what's going to happen until you get your claim submitted. And so that's why I just focus on getting in touch with people, signing them up, and moving forward. Now, I do my due diligence, of course, but at the end of the day, we try our best to take as many shots as possible in order to make those shots and recover as much money as we can for our clients. So that's all I have for you. Again, if you are interested in learning more about this business, learning how I do it, you can check out my course in the link below, or go to overagesyndicate.com, and you can learn more about how to get started and learn this business from myself. And that's all I have for you today. Hope that was helpful, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.